Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, members, and distinguished guests. Step out of your comfort zone. Set a goal, write it down, and go for it. Those were words that were shared by the late, great college basketball coach, John Wooden. He was a motivator. Enthusiastic, positive, optimistic, persistent. Those are the qualities that you want to possess. You see, attitude is everything. You know, so many times we go through our routine, work, you eat, you sleep, you work, eat, sleep, and you go through the week, and our routine, we almost give reasons why we can't do something, or we don't want to participate in this activity. We got to step out of the comfort zone and do something about it. So you step out, set a goal, write it down, and go for it. When's the last time, or you have something you've thought about doing but you still haven't done yet? Now you can think about it. The last time you wanted to do something but you haven't completed, you want to do it and you haven't done it. Step out of your comfort zone. There's a great movie that came out in the end of 2007. It stars Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie. It was called The Bucket List. And in this, how many have seen that movie? Yeah, it's a very, very interesting movie. On that movie, Jack Nicholson plays a corporate billionaire, and Morgan Freeman is an auto mechanic. And they end up sharing this hospital room together. And they both have terminal conditions. And while they were in the hospital room, you know, they had a lot of time contemplating their identity, what they were doing, what they wanted to do. And they came up with this list, each of them, what they wanted to do with the remaining time that they had left. So both they decide to, against doctor's orders, they check themselves out of the hospital and go on this wonderful, fantastic road trip to complete all these items on their bucket list. They stepped out of their comfort zone. They wrote down, they set their goals, they wrote them down. Go for it. They both did. There's a situation back in June 13th this year. I was able to take pictures at a triathlon at the Bob Sierra YMCA. And this was kind of fun because usually I compete in the triathlon, but this one I was there as a photographer. And I said I wanted to cover the event and took pictures at it. And this was an initial triathlon for the kids to really get a taste of what a triathlon is all about. You know, with your swim, your bike, and finishing with the run. And I thought, oh, this would be kind of fun. I couldn't believe how many kids there were. There was over 250 kids that participated that day. And I'd like to share a story of 3 of those athletes that just caught my attention that day as I was shooting behind the camera. The first person, her name was Ann. Ann is in her 40s. She was very much overweight. And if you asked me 2 years ago, could Ann compete in a triathlon, I would have almost laughed and said, there's no way she could do that. She had a hard time going up a flight of stairs. But she was bound and determined to, I'll never forget, she wrote this on Facebook. She finished a 1-mile fun run about 9 months ago. And she put on Facebook, she goes, "Get over it, people. Fat people can run too." You know, she got right out to the point and said it. And it was so encouraging. I saw her go by on the bike and took her picture. I said, "Go, Ann, go." Well, Ann finished that triathlon. She came in last place, but for her, it was a huge accomplishment. She overcame those obstacles. The second person I'd like to share about, his name's Tommy. Tommy's a 14-year-old. And it was kind of peculiar as Tommy was going by on the bike, he was the only one there that had a tandem bike. A tandem bike with a rider sitting in front. There's Tommy pedaling on the back of the bike with this adult in the front seat, not pedaling, holding onto the bar. And I go, man, this Tommy he must really be trying to impress people with how powerful and how strong he is. Later on did I realize, this was after the event, and I was covering the award ceremony, and they announced the winners for the 14 and 15-year-olds. Tommy took second place. You see, when they announced his name, Tommy had a hard time getting up on the podium. He was blind. And I was in awe. It just hit me. Just close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes. Okay, now you're going to do a triathlon. And I just imagine what he went through going through that. And he just amazed me that he finished. The last person I want to share about is Bobby. Bobby is a 20-year-old. I've seen him at the Y a lot of times. Bobby is a Down syndrome young adult. And out of all the people that did that bike that day, Bobby had the biggest smile from ear to ear as he was riding through, and I took his picture. He was the happiest, proudest person that day on the course. And after I took his picture, I ran over to the finish line to see if I could catch him on the run. And there he was. He was coming around the corner, about a block left, and he was running, and he goes running, and they're saying, "Go, Bobby, go, go, go." And he finished. He came across the line, they put a medal around him, and he stood up like this, did two 360s. And he won the Olympic medal in his mind. And I had goosebumps. It was just amazing. He did a wonderful job. Each of those athletes that day stepped out of their comfort zone. They set a goal, they wrote it down, and they went for it. And the last thing I wanted to share is, as you go through the remainder of this week, take some time. Step out of your comfort zone. Set a goal. Write it down and go for it. The journey will be well worth it.